everyone. Welcome to episode 2 of Kingdom Debrief by the Road to Hagdom crew. I'm here with some of the crew from our usual panel. We have Lucy from the UK, Swenson from Malaysia, Krysti from Brisbane, and our hostess with the mostest, Trish in Florida. Yay! Hi, Trish. Over to you.
I'm representing the Western Hemisphere today.
Yes, Natalia couldn't be here today.
Yes.
It's morning for me, and all of you people have been up forever. But yeah, so this week we got the first full performances. We only got 3 of them so far because they kind of like to stretch these things out. We got the boys. We got Icon and B2B.
Icon,
Yeah. So we're going to kind of go through a little like what we did last week because that seemed to work well. So let's start off with your biggest wow moment of the week. Lucy, do you want to start?
No, come back to me. I wasn't there last week.
Well, we're off to a rip-roaring start here. Who wants to go first?
Okay.
Okay.
Min Hyuk, with it coming out with his sword, and oh my god, that was stunning. And I think what I need to do is watch the performances while waiting for. I don't want to watch it live again because that was just too frustrating without subs on illegal stream. I think I need to watch the performances first, so I get a surprise from the performances, and then watch how they did the performances, because watching the show and seeing the behind the scenes, you do get a little bit spoiled. But because I wasn't paying attention the other night when I was watching the illegal live stream, I just caught Min Hyuk and went, oh my god, because he's, I fell in love with him when he was doing his hatha stuff, and he's just beautiful, and he came out with that sword, and he just took my breath away. And then all the other groups doing like the fan chant and everything for the song. It was amazing. It was a really great moment on the show.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The fact that Songhwa had his smartphone having the LED strip, I was like,
he looked like he was going to cry.
Also me.
Songhwa
That's the way
that was me. He was like,
that's the way Jangju did during Road to Kingdom.
Oh yeah. Gold Cha.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Songhwa just looks like he's having the best fanboy experience of his life being on this show. He's just like,
he's us. Yeah.
But for
every Songhwa moment, I'm like, because he's just so beautiful, and his outfit. Anyway,
it was great.
But Min Hyuk was my wow moment. And
Well, for me, I think it's actually Icon for me out of the 3 performances, because of all groups, I have never pictured Icon going on like adopting for the Broadway music theme. So when Love Scenario came out, I was like, right, so this is what we've been missing all this while, because Icon, Icon hasn't been the most active for the past year or 2, but the moment they came out with Love Scenario with that instrumental rearranged and having the stage itself, I was like, yup, this is what we've been missing all this while. And I'm like, yeah, Icon's back. And I'm saying this as a hard diehard The Voice stan. So Icon deserves deserves the recognition for this first half of the episode. Yeah.
The rearrangement was amazing. Yeah, it was really amazing. Okay, so I'm going to go with Min Hyuk's sword dance too. And for me, it was very anticipated, I guess, because I like Min Hyuk a lot. No, you know that. But so I knew he was in that movie, and I knew he knew how to swing a sword because he does sword fighting in the movie, literally. So the moment they teased that picture that he was doing something with the sword, for the whole week I've just been, this could possibly be really good. And sure enough, it did disappoint. So.
It's Min Hyuk with the sword. I even printed him out behind me.
Oh, I see. Oh, that's what it is. Yes.
The picture, yes.
It's I mean, you said it all already, and it's highly predictable. That I would. We've got a cat. But yeah, just amazing.
Do you know what I found really impressive though? He did all that and then came and sang live
Immediately.
Yeah.
And then,
immediately after.
And then afterwards, the look he gives the camera, like, and
Yeah.
you know, just before he does
He
his
does a
strut,
good look.
it's sort of like, yeah, I did that, you know, the look.
Yeah.
Well, for me, I had a couple of different things. One was the entire Icon performance. I feel like they were just like, yeah, we're not going to be sixth anymore. You all can just forget that.
Yeah.
So I thought it was amazing. It was like watching a musical. There were a couple of probably all of them. They could have easily been like Broadway musical performances. You know, they kind of gave me that feeling. And the other thing was when the boys went into the water tank to prepare. And of course, you know, you expect Ju-yeon to be awesome stuff. And it's just like, that was so cool. Because I think it's the same tank that Ace did for their photos.
Yeah.
And that was just like, that's commitment, you know? Okay, funniest moments for the week. I guess I'll go first this time. A couple for me was Woo-young from ATEEZ when he called out Ji-hyun for saying, he's always calling me saying they have nothing left to do. And then he's like, is this nothing? You know, after they performed. Woo-young has been hilarious during this whole thing.
He's a beautiful boy.
Yeah. And then the other one was in the lead up to B2B's performance, when they were talking about, you know, well, maybe, you know, the other groups are doing stunts and maybe we need to do more athletic stuff. And Shang Sub is like, we need to remember that young guys' muscle tension is different than our muscle tension. Funny. So,
and that's coming from someone who's barely 30. So
I know. It's like, well, I guess I'm the crypt keeper now. So, you know.
But I actually was cracking up with Icon because Jinwon was saying how he during the week he'd forget that they came sixth, but then every now and then he'd remember. So he'd open the fridge and he'd go, "Oh, that's right, we came sixth." Bobby says it's like a breakup. I just laughed.
It's so funny.
It was so funny, and that was basically it. And I just had fluffy Minnow because he was just when they phoned Minnow in, he's like,
his hair,
and he's got his fluffy hair.
They're like, you just woke up, and he's like,
I think Yun was asleep. Yun looked half asleep as well.
For me, I think it's when the boys went into the tank, and there was this one member called New. He can't swim actually. It came to me as a surprise, and so he was trying to hold his breath in the tank, and he got his cheek all puffed, and the group members were referring him to as a blowfish or like a pufferfish. And that bit, I was like, this is meme material for years to come.
He's not living down.
Nah. He's never gonna get out of that. And I mean, that's hella hilarious for me because, like, you know, as the boys fan, we get more inside references, and that's there for us. We
pufferfish is never gonna go away now. Yeah, that's it for life. And then that aside, also at Eunkwang's apartment. So like they went in, and I was like, "Oh, your place looks different than what it was last time we came here." And he was like, "Nope, just doing for the show. I'm just doing it for the show." That was so funny when they were there. Yeah. They were all squashed on the two recliner chairs together. These grown men like squashed on this chair. That was cute.
It's only like, you know how being the oldest group, they had like the most chill out of the 6 groups. They were like, "Oh yeah, let's just have a meeting at my place. Just come over and like
eating pizza.
Yeah. And let's move on first."
And I felt like that's the charm that B2B holds as an older group. So 2 funny moments that I find during this episode.
I thought in that same segment, it was funny when they come in and they're teasing Oolong about, cleaning his apartment, and then Peniel pulls the hair off the floor and he's like, well, I know it's not mine. And then Hoquan's like, my mom came over yesterday.
Right.
I mean, Peniel might not have he's got literally no airtime in Kingdom, but also I follow one of their podcast series on Dive Studios, and he's literally because it's an English series because he's a native English speaker. So I felt like if he starts speaking in English, it's gonna be over because he's like the most hilarious guy out of B2B, and even out of all the contestants, he deserves more screen time. Yeah,
he's funny. Yeah.
Okay, my funniest moment. It was when the end of Minhyuk's sword dance, and he was taking his wrap off, and everyone just automatically assumed
that there were going to be abs.
They just all assumed.
They were like, I'm not seeing anything.
It's very on brand for Minhyuk, though, isn't it?
And I think that's what he was going for.
Yeah.
Was it intentional?
It's like, it'd be funny though, in the middle of this beautiful performance, and then you've got abs or whatever,
Weird.
He has a reputation, so.
Yeah, he's well known for his toned body. Yeah.
Which made what he said later on about can I buy those abs about song in
really?
Icon. I was like, really? We've all seen your abs.
They always say that about each other, and you're like, have you seen you?
He's just come back from the military. You think they usually come back in pretty good shape.
Yeah. Just generally B2B on the show.
Their existence on the show.
It's just the tone that they set, like compared to you couldn't even evil edit them if you tried. Because they're just like so laid back, and it's just such a different vibe to what you get from a lot of groups on these shows, and it just stops it from being all all the time. But also, Woo Young really surprised me. I know 80s are all funny, but he's just the way his interactions with other groups and stuff. It's just so. He's so
I feel
funny.
Like he's friends with everybody.
Look, when we were in Korea, we were at M Countdown, and Woo Young was going up behind he was back hugging everyone. So one evening, because we were there, I think it was Hulla Hulla. He was going up to Wyatt from ONF. On and off, and back hugging him, and Wyatt was having to drag him off the stage, clinging to him. And I think and it was someone from another group, it might have been someone from SF9 actually, because they had to come back at the same time, but they were doing the same thing. They just he gets around.
I
feel like even if you're not friends with him, even if you're not friends with him, you're friends with him. Like he's that sort of person, I think. Yeah.
That would make sense because Very Very had a comeback at the same time 80s were having a comeback when we were there as well. So they probably they're all back together backstage and stuff like that. So I guess you bond over the stress.
Yeah.
Imagine being a social butterfly. Can't relate at all.
I can't relate.
Yeah, he would have been the person who got the senior superlative of most popular or whatever.
Yeah, I love him to bits.
Yeah, I'm not trying to draw parallels, but he reminded me a lot of Kino in Road to Kingdom.
Yeah.
The popular guy. Yeah. So I felt like we're only 1.5 episode into Kingdom, so it's gonna be funny to see how the teams get to interact with each other in coming episodes.
That's one of my favorite things is when you see idols interacting with idols in other groups, and it's just sort of like, hey, look, they're all friends.
Yeah, it's one of the things I missed.
Behave.
It's one of the things I missed in this episode because they're all in their separate rooms, and obviously we'll get it the next episode because I think they're going to be in the same room at the end, aren't they? So but I missed that this episode.
Yeah. That's the way Road to Kingdom was too, though. They only were face to face in that first intro kind of thing.
Even in Peniel's live podcast, he was like, "Oh, we were actually he actually wanted to visit. Who was it? He actually wanted to visit someone from the other group, and the production team was like, "Oh, nah, we're not gonna let you," because like you know how they're all like friends. They're like, you might be spoiling shit that are not supposed to be shown in a way. From as far as I know, they were not able to greet each other, which puzzles me a bit. But
which makes the bit about how when Icon was choosing their songs and Chanu calls Chani and asks him, and then when they performed and they did Killing Me, Chani's like, "Yep, I chose that one." And then SF9 are like, "Are you helping our competition?" That's pretty funny.
I just love seeing them get so excited about each other's performances. I really
it feels like they're like sort of like a dance battle or something, or hyping each other up and being all friends at a party. And they're all so lovely.
I love how Songhua is always saying, "You should have to pay for this."
I mean, he's not wrong.
He's not wrong.
He's living his best fanboy life right now.
He really is. He just looks stunned all the time.
I know.
But it's but it makes sense. Them being the youngest group, they've grown up watching a lot of these groups, and it's just like blah.
Yeah.
What was everybody's favorite performance? Of the 3 we've seen so far, of course, we'll reassess next week once we've seen all 6. But what was the favorite of the 3?
Icon. They killed it. And I know Natalia wanted to say that. They really killed it. Yeah. So the concept and the way they presented it and changed it halfway through, but mostly the rearrangement. It's great. And so one of my favorite performances of last year, Road to Kingdom, was the on and off It's Raining. And I've still got that on my playlist because it's just so, and it's so different from the original song that I just love listening to it. And so this one's going to go on the playlist, and I don't think I'm going to be over it in a year's time. Again, it's really good.
I'm looking forward when they put up the playlists of all these songs that are going to be on Kingdom the way they did Road to Kingdom, because I have that like every performance from Road to Kingdom playlist.
Icon. Even that Minhyuk did steal the show with his Icon. As I said, they're one of my faves from years ago, and to see them, it wasn't just the performance. And I read somewhere, I don't know where, it was on Twitter but I read somewhere that it was really fitting that they performed it as a musical, because apparently when B.I. wrote Love Scenario, he was actually thinking of La La Land when he wrote it.
I've seen some stuff on Twitter about that.
Yeah, so them to come out and perform it as a musical. But also what I liked was the outfits when they came out and did Killing Me, because they don't usually do the leather, the harnesses. They usually got the real streetwear look going, and they came out with the mature, sexy outfits as well. And that's the bit I caught them. So they just with the abs were there, and they were see through, and they just looked stunning. But I actually like the bit at the start when they came out in that triangle formation with their coat on. But they know. Well, Icon I was so glad they've decided to get back into the dance. I mean, I think being 6th really shook them up, and Icon can dance. They just they can dance. They're trained. They just need to remember that they got it's a performance show. So I'm glad they've sort of kicked it up a gear. And that was my favorite one.
For me, I would say Icon and B2B, they're neck to neck. But if I were to choose one, I'd actually say B2B, because the way they started the performance with Changsub doing the falsetto line, I was like, oh, right. He's there to remind us that B2B is the vocal powerhouse out of the lineup there. So alongside that, I was also a sucker for the theme that they went in performing Missing You, because they did this whole Korean traditional wear theme, and then swords, and then I've seen this before in Road to Kingdom. Like I won't pinpoint exactly which specific performance it was, but that got me in awe, and I was like, "Yep, this is what I'm here for." If I were to choose one group out of them three, it's gonna be B2B. But like B2B and then Icon followed really closely as a second.
Yeah, B2B was going to be my. It was close, but then Icon just
I'm like the opposite way of Swenson, where it's really hard for me to choose, but Icon just tipped it for me over B2B performance. They just, I don't know if it's just because they've been away. I mean, I know B2B have been away for a while as well, but I think it's just, we're just all so eager to see them back on the stage together. And just that chemistry that they all have on stage with both groups. But I really loved the boys' performance, but I don't know what I can't pinpoint why that was the three that was last. Icon definitely tipped it just over B2B, in my opinion. It was just the energy and everything.
Yeah, I think in general we've got quite a good. We're quite in tune in terms of like how these three performances ranked. And although, say again, I'm a huge The Voice fan.
Oh, same.
Something in the performance just like it ticks all the boxes that of my expectation, but the fact that they're going first, and it left me wanting for more. So I was like, as unwillingly as I am, I'm gonna have to put them at the third place. And I feel like
I feel like there was I feel like there was a lot of drama in it that broke up the performance a little bit. It lost a bit of momentum.
Yep.
I don't know. Yeah, I mean, it was great and it all looked great and everything, but I think some of the maybe the POV stuff and some of the bits and pieces, I feel just broke up the rhythm of the performance. I don't know. It was still a great performance. Everything looked great, but I don't think it just quite had the impact.
Right. It's like I respect what they were doing. It's like, trying to stretch themselves beyond what they're known for, and I think for what they were trying to do, it was a really good performance. But for me too, and and I'm a huge boys fan too, and it was third for the week for me. And, and I had them, like last week, I said that my rankings would probably change every week, and I had them first last week, but Icon just knocked it out of the park for me. It's like I loved their rearrangement, the energy, the styling, the acting that DK did, because like when they were switching from Love Scenario to Killing Me, and he's on the floor going, and then he climbs the steps and then immediately falls off backward. There was no hesitation in that fall. And I thought they were fabulous. And shout out to the stylist for the mesh shirts too. So, just being honest.
They look so good.
Oh, and it's just, I thought it was a awesome performance, and it's the top of the week for me. Yeah. All right. So like, even though we have 3 more performances to watch next week, we did get information on what the following week's theme would be. And it's going to be Reborn. And it's where the groups have to switch songs with each other. So we're just going to kind of look ahead and see what songs would you like to see which groups do. You don't have to do the straight back and forth if you don't want to. Just if this group did this song, it would you're like, yes, that's for me. Frankie, do you want to start?
All right. So for Icon, I thought I want to see, and before I did this before I saw their performance. So, before I saw the full performance, I actually was looking at SF9's Enough, because Enough was one of my favorite songs of the year when it came out. And it's quite a sexy, smooth concept. And I really want to see Icon do something like that, because they're always doing the hip hop type concepts. So that's for Icon. 80s. Now, I don't think this is going to happen, because I saw that Stray Kids are going to do God's Menu, but 80s just for the fact that I want to see them do God's Menu.
Great.
And some of these I've got because I just want to see the performance. Others I've got because I want to see them do something different. B2B, I think they do Reveal by the boys really nicely. It's just got the beautiful vocals in the chorus.
I see that.
Yeah, I'd really like to see them sing that. SF9, all right. just bear with me. Something totally different. Bling bling.
Oh, wow. There's
totally
a wow
out
factor.
of there.
Yeah.
It'd be totally out of the comfort zone. I can't even picture it. I cannot even picture SF9 doing bling bling. Stray Kids, I thought movie, right? B2B movie, because it's quite a different concept to what they usually do as well. It's a real sort of funky, fun little thing. I mean, it's different
to do it really well.
Yeah, it's different to most of their title tracks. And then for the boys, this was hard. It was a choice between Wonderland or Hulla Hulla, but I think I'm going to go with Hulla Hulla because Hulla Hulla is a really difficult choreo, and the boys could virtually do that. They wouldn't even need backup dancers.
No.
They could do the whole thing themselves, and I'd really like to see the boys actually sing Hulla Hulla and do their own choreo, but based on some 80s choreo. Yeah, I just be interested to see what type of, because they've got that elegance about them we were talking about. I really like them to do a hard-hitting 80s song.
I feel like being the snake that Mnet is, I felt like this upcoming, not this upcoming episode, but like the second round of performance, there's gonna be a bit of a plot twist, which is also good because that's what we saw in Queendom, because there were also 6 groups of them back then, and what they did there was 2 groups, they swapped songs with each other, which I think is also going to be the case in Kingdom. And for me, I'm going to pair them up together. So B2B will be swapping again with 80s. So Thriller by B2B, and it's actually it's a a ballad song by 80s called Star 1117. So B2B will be doing the vocal, and then 80s will be doing Thriller by B2B. And then I have Icon swapping with Stray Kids. So Stray Kids doing Dumb and Dumber. And
they were so good.
Yeah, because I feel like Stray Kids as a group, they'll be the one group that digest all sorts of concepts really well. So I feel like Dumb and Dumber going into like taken by Stray Kids will be like an epic remake. And then Icon will take on Stray Kids Double Knot, because also so it's more rhythm heavy, so it's more on the dance performance side as well. That leaves us with SF9 swapping with the boys, and I feel like this combination that I have is gonna put them into like a less advantageous bit, because obviously they've got a discography is not as diverse as the rest of the groups. But I'd say SF9 doing the voices, and then the boys doing SF9's O Sole Mio. That's my mix and match. Yeah.
Cool.
I've paired SF9 with the boys in mine as well.
I did too.
Because they had similar member counts. Although I don't know if Rowan's gonna be actively participating in like the upcoming rounds.
Okay, so I did it a little bit more like Frankie. I went through my group, and then I chose my favorite song, and then I thought, okay, well, who's gonna do that song really well? So the boys Dance Dance Dance. I really want to see someone do Dance Dance Dance, and I thought maybe SF9 would do that really well. So Stray Kids, District 9, and I thought probably a tease. Yeah,
they kill it.
Yeah, right. And then this one's interesting, Swenson, because SF9 I had El Sole Mio, and then I had the boys next to it. So, yeah, so exactly same choice. Yep.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. And then a tease, Answer. I really need someone to do Answer. And I thought Stray Kids, probably.
That would be an interesting,
That would be interesting.
Exchange.
Yeah, I don't know. Who else do you think could do Answer really well?
B2B.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
I had that
Really?
down, and then I changed it.
Okay, so BTB, I was trying to decide between movie or only one for me. And really, I thought Icon would do both really well. I really wasn't sure there. I had the boys down as well. And then Icon's Why, and
Oh, I
I
love
really
that
thought
song.
I'd really like to see a BTB cover of that.
Oh, that's awesome. I love that song.
It will be like a major overhaul for them if they decide to go for this pairing, this exchange.
I've paired Icon with B2B in mine as well. I put B2B doing I'm Okay. And Icon, I initially just thought I'll Be Your Man, but I changed my mind because I'd love to see them, I'd love to see them do Wow or Beat Beats because they would absolutely own that sort of energy on the stage.
Yes, please.
Yeah,
Oh, wow.
Icon,
Yeah.
I kind of could pull that off. And they're probably one of the only groups there that could pull that one of those two songs off with that sort of like silly energy that you need.
I'd like to see any group do those two songs. Yeah.
Yeah, just one of those two for Icon, please. SF9, I paired with the boys. SF9, I put down doing Reveal because they would really suit that sort of thing. The boys, I put Enough because they would really
that'd be too much sexy. No.
I know.
Bring it on.
No. But I put a question mark next to that and put Raw next to that as well because
I really love Raw.
I'd like to see them do that as well. Stray Kids and 80s, I paired up with Stray Kids doing Holla Holla. And 80s, I'd love to see do My Pace because My Pace, it would really own that energy as well. With the sort of, I don't know, it's got a sort of weird energy that's not really too hard. It's like almost silly, and I think 80s can really pull it off. 80s have got that sort of on stage presence, especially Hong Jun. I love to see those.
My Pace is such a high energy and like high tension song, and it doesn't stop. So
no.
Yes, please petition for My Pace to be performed by one of the groups.
Yeah,
I kind of did it a couple of different ways. I just if I had to just pair up the groups, I've got SF9 with the boys, Stray Kids with ATs, and BTB Icon. So I think that's similar to a lot of you. And then I just kind of did a list of songs I would like to see various groups do because I think they would do well. I think it would be cool to see the boys do a BTB song to showcase their vocals because it's like we get so caught up in the boys being really great dancers and stage performers, but they have some phenomenal vocalists too, you know, Sengyeon and Jacob and, you know, just new and just, they're just great at that. So I think if they were to do just, you know, a wonderful vocal performance, that would show yet another side of them.
Just saying them doing I'll Be Your Man would be so good for that prey. Like
the boys doing I'll Be Your Man.
Yeah. For a more vocal performance.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
I'd like to see SF9 do either Reveal or Checkmate by the boys.
Checkmate.
I would love to,
because
like Zuho and Sonu are two of my overall favorite rappers, and I would love to see you know, Zuho doing some of like Sonu's part. I'd like to see Stray Kids do ATEEZ's Holla Holla.
Hey.
That's the song that got me into ATEEZ. So, and it was like, and they just, those two groups seem to have very much kind of the same style and energy, and I think that would go well. BTB, it would be interesting to see their take on either Mist or Light by ATEEZ.
Light. Oh, Mist. Oh God, Mist is Mist is one of my favorite all-time songs. Oh my God.
Yeah, they're both beautiful songs, and it's like I think that was it'd be something that BTB could adapt well with their style. I think it would be cool to see the boys take on SF9's KO, mainly because of that intro choreography that is iconic, like the water wheel thing. And that would be really awesome, I think.
So that's what the song's called.
When they
KO. But yeah, it's like that's a really hard choreography, and I could totally see the boys being able to do that.
Yeah.
I
was just glad there was no scoring.
It's a shame we have to rank, because I can tell you who the winners are is We Are, because it's just amazing.
That's, every time there's a set of performances, I go to YouTube and I watch them all over and over, because it's like I can't decide, because they're all so good. And it's like, there are no dud performances in this show. So
it's hard to rank anybody bottom, because you're like, it really doesn't deserve to be there.
None of them deserve to be last. Yeah.
Like the three performances of this week, they're all so different in their style. How do you rank that? Yeah.
Right.
Yep. And then that leaves me wondering what next week's episode has in store for us.
I hate short clip of Stray Kids, like under like some sort of like I don't know, like see-through fabric or something on the like. It almost looks like a spider web or something.
It seems like they're gonna perform Backdoor, because there's was it Felix or
God's
was it
Menu?
Sungmin?
I thought it was God's Menu.
No, I thought it was God's Menu.
They could do both.
They could do.
I thought so, because
they could do a mashup. Yeah.
One of them had like a bell on the hand, and they were like hitting it, and that's like a that's from part of a choreo from Backdoor.
Right.
I'm just looking forward to because ATs are my alts, so I'm looking forward to them. But those outfits they had on as well, I'm really interested to see what sort of choreo they're going to do and what style it's going to be with those sort of those outfits that've got a real traditional twist to them, especially song-wise. I just couldn't get over song-wise outfits. Just beautiful. Yeah, gorgeous, very regal. Awesome. So I'm really looking forward to what they're going to do.
I'm really curious about SF9 in the red and what they're doing.
Oh yes.
Does anyone know the song? Has anyone?
It sounded like Enough, I think. Or no, or maybe Now or Never.
No one never.
Both of them. Love both of them.
Yeah. But it was interesting. It's like, because like their outfits stood out from everybody's in color palette, and then they've got kind of like the stuff around their eyes and everything. So
and Dawan had some stuff on his chest.
Well, Dawan was just showing off. Like, here he's been one of the ones who's been in the gym and showing everybody. So
far too many of SF9. I can't handle them. I can't handle them.
All right. Well, I guess that wraps it up for this week, and we'll be back next time for the next 3 performances.
Thank you for hosting. Thank you guys for being on the show today. For you guys at home, tell us what you thought about the episode, what your favourite performance was, who you'd like to see performing whose song. Also, keep an eye out. After this is uploaded, there'll be a new episode of Road to Hagdom. We're going to be talking about Korean bands, so keep an eye out for that, and don't forget to send in your mullets to the mullet review, roadtohagdom@gmail.com. All right, we'll see you all next week. Bye.